Hello everyone. Just making sure I'm in the right spot here. Hope you're all having a good day. And I'm excited that you'll be joining me tonight for a really quick and easy way in which you can step your cards up with just a little bit of scoring. So I'm going to show you a couple different techniques that you can do for framing up your cards really beautifully. Hello, Debbie. There we go. I am so sorry. I'm not a few. I'm about 15 minutes later than what I was planning on being tonight. I was planning on being here at 7:30. So thank you guys so much for being patient. I've got some great ideas to share with you tonight. So it is a Thursday. No, it's not even. It's a Wednesday night, and for me, it's nice. I don't have to work tomorrow, so I am going to be busy in my craft room tomorrow, getting the final pieces put together for kits that are going in the mail. That's my plan for tomorrow and later tonight. But first of all, I wanted to hop on and I want to just share with you, I did a little reel that I posted earlier today on framing up your card using some scoring. And I wanted to experiment with a couple different looks with that tonight, and using up possibly some of those die cut pieces that you already have, or just something very simple for the center of it. And it looks very, very effective. So I've got a few dies already done, and yeah, I've got a couple different looks I want to share with you tonight. So this is going to be fun. Found you joining from Wisconsin. Hello, Michelle. And we've got somebody joining us from the interior of BC. This is amazing. Okay, Kaisenberg. Welcome, Winnipeg, near and far. This is great. So I love it when we all come together, whether you are here local to me or whether you are East Coast, West Coast, or wherever you may be watching from across the world. I want to thank you for joining me, and I want to share with you some ideas tonight. And then also just let you know about some stuff that's going to be coming up. I did go live earlier today and shared a little bit of excitement with you. So I actually have, so that you can see, I have the actual birthday fancy kit here. It is here. It has arrived. I have not put anything together yet. I've just kind of taken out some of the pieces, but I want to share with you what is in this kit that Lori and I are using for our virtual bingo kit together event that we're going to be doing through Zoom on the 26th. So like I said, we're so excited, and we're excited because it's an opportunity for us to bring even a larger crafting community together, because she will have those who register through her from across the US, and I will have people from across Canada, and we just get to come together and, you know, just forget about everything, just craft and have a good time. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you're watching from. If you are in Canada or the US, there is links that you can both join. Okay, just Lori will take registration for the US. Okay, all right, so looks like we got everyone starting to pop on. So if you have not come across my page before, my name is Sue Phillip. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Victoria, BC, which is on the west coast of Canada. We are having, I guess you could say, a bit of a heat wave. It's been in the 30s the last couple days, and I am quite warm in my craft room today. So that was another reason why I wanted to wait a little bit later, is it's starting sort of to cool off. It's very hot. But here we go. So what we're going to do, I posted this one, which was the reel that I made. And then I have made a couple different versions, as well as I'm going to experiment with a few different colors. We are going to get out the rainbow bucket of card bases so that you guys can help me choose which color, of course, goes best with our cards. I always love your input, and I hope that you're able to craft along. So the only thing I told you to have ready is a 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece of white cardstock. Okay, I've got 3 of them because I am going to be doing some scoring in 3 different patterns around the edges so that you can kind of experiment a little bit. Okay, so let's head on down to the craft area here. There we go. You guys can have a closer look. There they are. Okay, so this one we're going to start, and we're going to do one that is very simple and easy. I love the way it's hard to see within the light, but look at how it makes the little squares in the corner. I think it's just a really pretty way to add a little detail that you don't need anything else. We all have little, you know, our cutting scoring boards, and so this is just another thing that you can use them for. I love to give alternate ways in which you can use the tools that you already have. And then I'll show you the pattern on this one as we go, but we're going to dive on in. I even added possibly a little card layer in there for one of them. We'll see as we go. As for little die cut pieces, I finished the card club for the inspirational blooms. So I have got a few flowers that I think I am going to play with on one of the cards and a little greeting. And then I've got some different die cut pieces. Like I said, this is again another great card layout that you can use so many scraps that you already have. I love that. In fact, I think I still have probably another 30 or so cards to post from the little creative getaway that Crystal had arranged for us. And if you follow Erica Edney from Me to You Paper Crafts, you will see some other cards that she did as she was diving into, lots of people were diving into my scrap buckets to get some inspiration. So I will be posting more of hers. She made some beautiful cards, and she's a great one to follow. She goes live usually on Thursday nights. She might be going live in a little bit. I didn't plan that very well. But she also does Mojo Monday 10 a.m. I think it is 10 a.m. on a Monday. So you can catch her there. Okay. All right. I want to show you one thing. And I'm going to show you, for those of you who wonder how we're going to do our bingo, we have got a whole bunch of these little bingo cards. And what we're going to do is, as people register for our virtual bingo event, and like I said, I'll show you the kit so you can see if you would like to do it or not. And that is the only stipulation of getting into our virtual little party that we're going to have on Saturday the 26th. So you don't have to, you know, purchase anything else. You just buy the Birthday Fancy, which I'll show it to you now, the Birthday Fancy kit, which is one of the new ones, through Lori if you're in the States, through myself if you're within Canada, and that gets you a little invite and a set of bingo cards, and we create and we play some bingo. Okay, so it's as simple as that. So this is the kit that we're going to be using for it, and as you can see, there is it makes 12 cards, and they have got 12 different versions on here. I love them. They're really pretty, and they're going to be easy to put together. During our little get together, Lori's going to make like 3 cards, and then I'm going to use those same pieces that she uses for her cards to create something different. And then I'm going to create, and then she's going to show you a project that she used that's different using the same pieces. So you're going to get some different ideas on what you can do with this kit, so that, you know, if you want to create something different, you can. But there's all the instructions. We're going to walk you through them. Great stamp set. I love all these greetings. Some slightly different ones. I like this one. Wishing you another year as sweet as you. Sweetest birthday wishes. Let's eat cake. Happiest birthday. Time to celebrate, and sending you happy birthday wishes. So it's just a great birthday one, and then it has the little for you if you need it. Comes with that. I was like blown away by this big monster piece of these are dimensionals, and I've never seen a big huge package of these before in one of the boxes. So I was shocked. If any of you have got your box already, that is joining our event, like that is amazing. And then you get tear tape as well, and you get there's a little package of Stampin' Dots in here too. You get a spot. All of these I've been playing, like just looking at them, so a lot of them have fallen out, but you get all of these layers. All of these beautiful layers that have some gold on them and some framing, pinks and blues. I mean, there is a few. There's like a couple layers within there. Okay. Like I said, I had them all spread out, so I had some popped out, but look at how cute these are with all the gold on them. This is definitely one of the better kits that I have seen them come out with, because look at how amazing all the little pieces are. Okay, so you've got two big sheets of that. You get a block. So if you are a new person who doesn't have a lot of supplies and wants to make some great cards and join a fun group to do that, then this is the perfect occasion for you to hop on in and meet a bunch of us. Look at all these. These are card bases. So you have stripe ones, 4. You've got these little pieces here for layers. These pieces for layers. Like, it keeps on going. Some card bases that are polka dots. And weight of the cardstock is pretty good. They're a nice weight for sure. And then some gold splatters. And then, of course, you have enough envelopes for all of them. Okay, there's another little piece. So, like I said, it is an endless box of goodies. I don't want to have any of these pieces bent, so I'm just going to take a minute and put them all back in. And yeah, it is $34 Canadian, and then you do have to pay, there's the glue dots, you do have to pay your taxes and shipping. So what I would recommend is, if you are planning on getting the kit, if you need to, say, stock up on anything, I would chuck it in at the same time, because you're going to pay the same amount of shipping, up to $100, right? So you might as well chuck in whatever else you need. Okay, if you do not end up joining us or registering before the 16th, because that was the original cutoff, so I have to change that actually on my form. All it means that, and I'll put the stipulation on the 16th, and I'll let Lori know as well, but what it means is we would put your name, because we're going to use 3 each, and you're going to have different colors, but put your name on here, and I would take a photo of your bingo cards, so you could actually print them out on a piece of paper, and then you can still play bingo with us. In fact, I'm going to take pictures of those that I send away too, just in case they get lost, then I can still send them. I'll put names on it, and that way you can still play the bingo. You can watch us create, and you can chat, because it's going to be a live Zoom. Everyone can visit, and then I will tape it so that if you end up grabbing a kit, say 3 days before the event, 2 days before the event, even a week out, and your kit doesn't make it, you can still play bingo with us, win a prize perhaps. We're playing 6 rounds. And then you can use that. You'll be able to see us, of course, create live, and you'll see all the extra different ways in which you can use the pieces. But then you can, when your kit arrives, you can play the replay of it. Okay? So that's what the kit together is. Okay? Yeah, I don't have my September card club up yet because I'm still working away at my one for getting the kits in. How long will the Zoom be? We are thinking it'll be somewhere between 2 and 3 hours at the most, because the actual cards will go quite easy together. They're nice and simple, but they look really pretty, and you have everything prepped for you because of the kit. That's the best part, is everything is totally prepped and ready to go. And then yeah, so it won't take that long, but we will have a good couple hours to visit. Okay, all right, so like I said, the link is in the description. If you are watching from the States, you will see in the body of mine, if you click on the registration for it, in the bottom of all the writing, it actually says US registration. And that will take you directly to, you can still order the kits. Yeah, you can. They're still available. But that will take you to Lori's registration form. It takes you right over to Lori's registration form. Okay. And the order numbers for the kits are on the registration form too. Okay. Any questions, you just send me a message. All right, let's get to scoring these up. So I think what I'm going to do, I had a third one. Let's see where I've got it. I will cut another one in a second. But I'm going to do slightly different scoring on all three of these. So therefore you can follow along. Grab your piece of 3 3/4 by 5 inches here. And I'm going to start kind of walking you through the scoring pattern that I did on the reel that I did earlier today. And then I want to try a couple other ones. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to start with scoring down the sides. And I don't know if you got an error message when I went to the link in the form. Okay, I will check into that, Nora, for sure, and then I will post it again. Sometimes if I was in the form at the time, then it won't go because I'm in the form adjusting it or looking at it. So I will make sure that by the time I'm done here, when I'm done, that it's working okay. Okay, I'll make sure that. So what we're going to do is we're going to score down the sides, and I don't know, let's look at this one. Don't know if it makes a difference which side you score first, but I thought if I score down the sides first and then score the top and then the bottom, just in case it looks slightly different depending on which direction you score first. I don't think it will, but just in case, I am going to score on each side. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go to 1/4 and I'm going to score like that. Okay, see that? And then I am going to go to 1/2 inch and I'm going to score again. So the distance that you do within your scores is totally up to you, and that changes the look of things for sure. If you wanted, you could just do like a 1/2 inch all the way around. You could do like 3/4 of an inch, or sorry, an 1/8 of an inch, 1/4, 3/8, and then a 1/2, and then you would have 4 little lines all the way around. So play with the spacing, and it really does depend on what you're going to stick in the center of it, because maybe you want to have more border around it, like a thicker border or a thinner border. So this is what I love. I'm going to flip it all the way around. What I love about scoring around the edges, and I haven't done it for a while, but I don't know why I was thinking about it the other day. I came across a card that I did for, I think it was Country Flowers, and it was actually the Friendship Collaborative class I did with Lori, and I had scored across just the sides and the bottom, and I put a little stool with flowers, and it was just the perfect touch to the card, and subtle, but it just added a really pretty look. Okay, so I'm going to switch it over to the other side, and each side I'm scoring the same. So I'm doing 1/4 of an inch, and then I'm doing 1/2 inch. Okay, so there is our first scored all the way around. Can you guys see that with the lighting? Yeah, there, that's better. Okay, you can see the lighting there is better, and you can see it scored all the way around. Okay, so that's the first one. Like I said, I'm going to score a couple of them, and then I'll actually do something with them, right? I'll show you what I'm going to create with them. Now, where did I put my other piece? Is it hiding under here? Under there? No. Let's see. There it is. It's hiding under this one. Okay. And then the other thing that you can do with scoring is you can flip it. Okay. So say, let's see here. I'm going to just switch it up the distance between so you can see something different. I am going to try and do 1/8 of an inch. Oh no, I'm going to do 1/4 of an inch. Okay. And then I'm going to go in 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to go in 1/2 inch. So I'm going to do 3 lines. Okay. See that? There's the 3 lines. Now I have seen some people do like a series of say 5 lines, and that's just the side of the card. Now instead of doing all the way around, what I'm going to do now is I scored on this side here, right? I'm gonna flip it over like that, and see how this gives a different look with the score. It bumps it up. So I'm gonna do up in one direction, down in the other. Okay, so now I'm gonna go across the top, and I'm gonna do the same pattern, but I'm doing it from the opposite side of the paper, and we're gonna see what that looks like. Okay, and again, I'm going to do 1/4 of an inch, 3/8, and 1/2. Okay, and then, okay, so see how now you've got these ones raised out, these ones are embedded in. So see how the little crossover at the top looks different, and now we've got an area here to kind of do more of a focal point, and we have got a border across one side of the card. Okay, so that's going to be a fun one to do. Now I want to do one other version, and I just need, let's see here, a piece. I'm going to try something else too. Let's see. I just need to cut one more piece, and then I just saw a piece of paper that already had stamping on it, and I'm going to do a little scoring on that too, because I just happened to see it, and I am intrigued to see what that would look like. Okay, so now this was a thought that I had. I wonder what it would look like if we started, say, at 1/2 inch, and this time I gotta get my cutter out of the way. This time we varied how far we came down the page, almost like a waterfall. Okay, so you can do all sorts of designs with your scoring, right? So it's almost like you're making your own textured pattern, right, on the paper. So I'm gonna start. And like I said, I haven't done this one before, so we'll see what it looks like. But I'm going to start at 1/2 inch in, and I'm going to start down at, let's go 4 inches. Okay, and I'm going to score up. Okay. See how that just went down to 4 inches? Okay. Do you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to go back and I am going to put in 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to start down at 4.5. Okay. Like that. Okay, see what I'm doing there? So we got 4.5, 4, and then I'm going to do one more. And I'm going to go 3.5 this time. So you can play with, there, you can play with the distance from the top, which gives you a different look too, a different pattern. Let's do one more. Okay, we are here. Let's go 3/4. And what do I need to go to now? I think that one was 3.5, so let's go at 3. There. Now I also want to try stamping across this. I kind of have like, I think I have something that would look quite pretty, and I want to see what it looks like when it's stamped across, because you're going to have voids within your stamping, which I think will look, it'll look quite interesting. So we're going to try it. And I've got some different patterns for larger stamps that look quite neat, as if you actually score like every 3/4 of an inch and you make blocks, and then you just stamp over it with a larger stamp. It doesn't actually stamp where your grooves are, so it makes it look like tile. So it's a faux tile technique. So I will try that one another day with you, and you can join me if you like. But I'm going to start with my original one. This was all around the corners, and it was 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 an inch. I'm going to do a little bit of shading just to show you how I did this, and then I'll show you the finished one because I've already got one done here. Okay, so I'm taking, this is my new favorite color, the soft sea foam. It's so pretty and it's so subtle, and it's just so beautiful with navies and grays, pinks. You can use it for all seasons. My goodness, I'd like to say kids, but they're not kids anymore in the background, and they're laughing like crazy. Okay, so there is, you can see that just little haze of the soft sea foam. Okay, so that's, I'm going to put a little haze on that one. This one, let's see, I'm going to put a little bit of blue here down in the edge, and I'm going to stay away from where the scoring is. This one was scored, so we had, remember, we had half of it up and half of it on the opposite side. And I'm going to try and fix my lighting in a second here so you can kind of see this a bit better, but I'm going to just do just a little bit of blue. There we go. So another reason why I love scoring around the edges is that often, I'm just going to bring in what I saw on my workspace. This one right here. So sometimes I just happen to have this piece stamped and colored. This was from when I did that watercolor technique with cards that I posted not too long ago. But see how it's got a little extra space. It's taller than it is skinny. So as I walk by to cut another piece, I was thinking, like, this would be perfect to just add a little bit of detail at the top and then at the bottom. So again, just another way in which you can decorate up the edges of pieces that you've got stamped. And it's okay that I'm going over the stem a little bit. But can you see that? There we go. So can you see how this, it just adds a little bit of something. So it takes away, which is nice when you have, if you happen to have something that you stamped and it's tall and skinny like that, instead of trimming off, because often we just trim it off, you could add some score lines. And it doesn't matter what color cardstock you're using. Maybe you emboss something white on a dark navy and then you score at the top and the bottom. That would look so pretty, and it just takes away, you know, sometimes you feel like you have too much white space around something that you've stamped and you're just not sure what to do with it. This can help take away that white space and add some detail. So I'll finish this one up and I will post it, okay? But I just wanted to show you what I meant by that. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this one. For this one, oh, I had a white, didn't I? I don't have a white. Let's do this one, actually. Okay. So for this one, this is where I did score, one is the texture's up, one it's down, and it's kind of hard to see the blue bit of haze in there, but there is a tiny bit. And I'm going to just stamp off to this area that is framed in. I wish my lighting was better. I just don't want to turn my lights off completely, because then it would be even harder to see those score lines, I think. I'll try it in a sec. Okay, so I'm stamping into the corner here. Oh, now I wish I had one of my dragonflies or a butterfly to go up here. I think that would look really pretty. But let's decorate it with a little bit of greenery on top. So I do have kind of a slightly darker color, and maybe I don't want it to be so tall because I want it to be able to see some of this prettiness. So I might bring it down a little bit, and that little bit of blue in the background makes it really, it just makes a nice backdrop. When you go to, oh, get my glue going here. Right now you have a lot of white and you think, oh, well, it's very white. Once you frame it in, when we get to our rainbow color, bucket colors of all the different card bases, you'll see how this pattern around the edges really stands out, and it starts to draw some of the colors out of what you've created. Now I'm going to do, let's see here, I'm going to do something a little different for this one. I'm going to do this one right here, and I'm going to add maybe a little bit of these gray pieces. Like I said, I'm just using up some scraps that I have, but I want to stamp on this first. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab beautiful Motifs, and these are actually the dies. All these beautiful sprigs here are from Gallery Blooms, and the bigger ones are from the beautiful Motifs. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to take one of these rounder ones. Let's see what I've got. You've been on my mind. I'm here for you always. What's this one? I'm here for you always. That's the one I grabbed. That's the one I'm going to put on. And I'm just going to stamp it in. I think I'm going to go with the Secret Sea. And this is one of the Spotlight on Nature dies. There. So I definitely have my favorite sets of dies for greetings. Right now, I absolutely love the Unbound Love dies. It is a series of a whole bunch of smaller dies which are perfect for greetings. It is a bundle that has greetings, of course, in it that fit into them all, but they all have slightly different stitching on them, which I really like. I'm going to be using one of them here in a second. I'm going to put this one here, and then I'm just going to pop this up. Okay, look at how pretty that is. I'm going to end up cutting this a little bit, but I'm just seeing whether I want any other greenery in here. What have I got? I'm just using up little bits and pieces. Do I want? No, I don't think I need it. I think that this will be pretty just as it is once it's all, I want that to stick there, once it's all put together. Yeah, that's perfect. Now, natural twine, always good. Okay, and now for some of you, you are staying up late. I see some East Coast ladies on here, and I know it's got to be 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock maybe. Yeah, for some of you it is late, but I too can be a bit of a night owl. It's often when I do my best creating, actually. The house is quiet, everyone else is all tucked in, don't have anything else I have to do. Okay, I'm going to put that on the bottom. That's going to be really pretty. Okay. Now, okay, and then I'm going to add one little glue dot here. Perfect. And we're going to put it just off to the side for the bow. Now I'm going to trim this up just like that, as easy as that. And there we have got, see the all framed in. We have got our beautiful focal point off to the side of the opposite that is framed. Now I do want to, I don't think I want to do I want to do this color for this one? That looks quite nice actually. Look at that little tiny bit of framing. That is beautiful. So I'm going to put it on here. We can always switch up our framed color for our other cards because I've got a couple different ones. Okay, and then I'm going to put that onto, let's see. Let me see what other color I have got in here. I am thinking that this might be nice. That is our cloud cover, and I think that might be a nice, soft, subtle, and it's going to frame it up quite pretty. So I'm going to go with that one, I think. And then we'll add a few little embellishments at the end. I'll do all the embellishments and we'll see what they look like all blinged up. Maybe add a few around the top. But there is our first one, and I'm going to add a little bit of embellishments definitely up here and maybe one over here. I'll get out the colors of the flat pearls for that one, the ones that were in my paper share. That would be perfect. So going back to this one, I want to go on to one that I haven't done yet. So I'm going to put that one aside, and I want to play with this one a little bit. And I'm debating on, let's see here. I was up to 2:30 a.m. watching my Aussie friends live. You know what? I have been known to be up that late. I'm not as bad as I used to, but I used to. Actually, these look quite pretty. So this is what I was going to do with this one. Okay, so it's very similar the way I put it together. I haven't die cut out a white piece here, but it's just adding these pieces, okay, and then a little bit of these greenery pieces, and then I put my ribbon underneath this note piece. So these are These are the dies I was telling you about that, see how there's different detail on them? These are the Unbound Love ones, and there's tons of different beautiful shapes. Okay, but that is that one all finished. In fact, maybe we'll do I have those? Here they are right here. I will add my embellishments on this one before we go to something different. So I think I'm going to use the cloud cover. I love the cloud cover on this one. And I mean, I could do something darker, but I don't want to take away from this and this beautiful border. So I'm going to just do 3, 1, 2, I'll do a smaller one over here. And there is the third one. Okay, so there is those two. And again, see the difference between the scoring? That's it. Yeah, you can see a good angle there. So one scored all the way around, one scored across the top and the bottom, flipping the sides so you have the texture up and down. Okay, now I'm going to try and do something with this one that's a little bit different. In fact, I think I'm going to add some shading here and shade over the texture for a different look. So let's bring in the pool party. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. We're going to just kind of play with this a bit. Okay. Like I would love for you to just try scoring just some different patterns and then putting different die cut pieces. Maybe it's greetings that you put over top. Okay, so see how that brings out that texture a little bit more. I'm going to add, maybe I should, do you know what? I just had a thought. Yeah. Okay. Can you see the wheels going in my mind as I start to work on things? I tell you, sometimes I wish I could turn it off, but for the most part, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Okay, so I'm going to go from this side and I'm going to do the opposite of this. Okay, this is just to do something really different. So I think we did 4 1/4 because I want to shade both sides. Do you see where I'm going with this? Then I'm going to go 4 inches. And then I'm going to go, where are we? We've done that one. And we're going this last one, right? 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go 4. Okay, so now we need to go 3. Somehow I think I did the wrong measurement at some point. That's okay. Let's go 3. We'll get the similar look anyway. So they're not going to notice if it's totally off. But see how now I've got going up, going down. So again, different. It'd be fun to do like a whole bunch from the top and then have it so that it kind of was all different lengths that kind of went up and down and up and down. But this way I can shade both sides and kind of highlight the texture. And then I'm going to put some flowers in the middle of them and I'm going to do a little greeting. And you're going to see that that's going to be enough to make this into a unique card. Okay, so now I'm going to pull in, again, bits and pieces of what I've already got. And let's see, I do like these little ones. Let's see, 1. Just seeing different colors I've got. 2. This is a slightly different color. 1, 2, 3. Do like that. with some little white flowers. Now I'm missing, I need one more little center. Let's see, I have a little brown center, but I don't want to put a brown one. I want white. So I will add another white one after. Trust me, I will do that. But let's see what this is going to look like. And I have some white little leaves even we can add to it. Any little flowers, I may end up quickly die cutting that little circle, the inside, because it's going to bother me. Unless I have. Is it terrible that I'm looking to see if one fell on the floor? I was die cutting so many of them the other day. I was thinking perhaps I might be lucky. Okay. So 1, 2, and then let's put one here, 1, 2, and then one over here. And then I am going to just tack those down. Like I said, I've got a couple little white leaves that I had left over from the cards that Diane and I made. So that little, the little table outside all ready to go. So fun. Diane and I sat out there underneath the lights, underneath the pergola out there, and just created some cards, nice and peaceful. It was fun. Had a good visit. So I have got 3 little leaves. So I'm going to try trimming this up. Let's see. I'm going to see if I want these or not. Nope, I don't think I do. In fact, I think I just want to sprinkle it with flowers. Look at all these. I've got lots of these. Simple as that. We're going to sprinkle with some pink little flowers. I don't think the orange ones are going to go. So we're going to go with the pink. And I think I have some darker pink ones here. I do. My goodness. So now it's gone from Lance and his friends are now laughing outside. Got lots of giggling going on in the background. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little sprinkle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little tiny bits. See, we'll do 1, we'll do 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't have uneven or even, so I'm going to do one more up here. Like that. And we're going to do a little greeting on the bottom that says, just a note. Oh, to laugh at them laughing out there. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to pop these little ones. Let's see if I have my dimensionals. They're right in front of me. Okay. So it does make a difference when they have these little white pop-up centers. It adds so much to these flowers. There's one there. And I will end up doing another one after. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to add a border around this, a card base, and we're going to go for, I was thinking maybe something a little bit darker. That doesn't seem quite right. Let me see. I feel like I need a little buffer of color in between. Do I have a strawberry slush? Let's see, is that a strawberry slush? Not quite. I might have to cut some more card bases. Okay, that might be not too bad, but I think we need to add a little bit of color in between. So I'm going to just cut down. I've got another, this is the color of the note. So I'm going to just cut this at, see here, 1/4. See how wide that is. Okay, and then we will add a little layer on there. See how that makes a difference? It really does. So again, just a different way, scoring up and down. Little kind of waterfall of sprinkle of flowers in between. And then, I mean, you could definitely add a little tiny bow, which would add to it. We could add a little bit of embellishments, or you have the embellishments of those little flowers. Don't want to add too much, or else it becomes a little more distracting and you don't notice the flowers as much. It takes away from the flowers. So let's add a bow, and I'm going to put it maybe just where the just a note is, so we can go like this. Okay, hold on, what's my crazy, oh, you know what, it's my glue dot. It's going crazy here, so let's try and put it down somewhere. There. Nope, it's going to twist back. I got glue dot on here, that's why it's twisting kind of crazy like that. It's on the twine. There it goes. Okay. There. Come on. There. A little bit crazy. All right. Okay, so let's add a layer. So this one does look a little bit more simple. It's got a few more kind of simple dies on it, but it's still very pretty. And it just needs one little center for that tiny little flower. So I will add that in, and we'll post this one too so you can check it out. Okay, so there is up and down, waterfall scoring. I know that would be pretty, wouldn't it? Great idea to put glue down first. I always do that. Yeah, there we go. And then we have got this one from the corner, right? Scoring just in the corner. And then here is another version of scoring in the corner. So this was one of the ones I originally did, and just the difference between here is the 2, but closer kind of away from the edge. I almost like this one here that has the 3 right together closer to the edge. I kind of like the look of that one better. Okay, so there's that one. And then we have got the one that I started off with, which has the scoring all the way around and frames it in. So another thing that you can do with your scoreboard to add a little something to the white space around the edges of your card. Okay, so there, I can't wait to see what you come up with. I am going to post mine, and then please share what you've made and go ahead and post in the comments so that we can all check out different ideas of what we can do in the center of our nice soft framed edges that we've created. Okay, so I'm going to just, whoop, there we go, a little close up. I know it's a simple trick, right? Sometimes simple things like that make such a difference in your cards. So they would look so much kind of just plain. Another thing, if you didn't add that little bit of shading in the background, it would make it look plain as well. But just the soft framing, soft shading makes nice delicate cards. So another thing to just, you know, tuck in your idea box for making cards, and try it with some colored cardstock too. Like I said, I think the scoring would look beautiful with black around it, and then just emboss something like a striking image. Even the big huge flower from the Gallery Blooms would look amazing. Okay, all right, let's see. It does add interest and texture. Exactly. All right, perfect. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. I am like starting to melt here in the craft room. I am going to head outside, get some fresh air, cool down a little bit. Thank you guys so much for joining me on my little toss-up. It's a Wednesday night tonight, but I hope that you try this out. And yeah, I'm excited to create again with you. I will see you Friday will be the next time that we will be creating. Having said that, I hate that I have to change these times sometimes, but I may have to run into work because we have some extra training that we have to do. We're switching over some stuff. So I will keep you posted for sure. This was just something I found about today as I was at work, and some laughs. Yes, always some laughs here. So I will keep you posted on when I will be live next, and I'll try and give you some warning. And yeah, I hope to see you all here again, and some of you in our virtual birthday fancy kit together with Lori and myself. Okay. And like I said, if you don't get your kit in time, still gonna snap you some pictures of some bingo cards so you can play along with us, see how the cards are made, get some alternative ideas for the stuff in the kit, so that when your kits arrive, you'll be ready to go with the replay. Okay? All right, take care, everyone. Have a good rest of the evening. Bye. There we go.